October 12th of 2022. Whenever you find this video is actually when you're meant to hear this message. So I'm going to teach a little bit as I pull a card. Bear with me because you'll see how much time I take to connect with spirit as I pull cards. I also will be probably reading a little bit out of the Shaman's Oracle book. Today's date is reduced to a single digit. October 12th, 2022 is a day 1, and that usually signifies a new start, the beginning of a new project, the beginning of a new chapter, the beginning of something. Something is starting today for you when you hear this message. It can also really speak to the month of January, and it can also speak to something significant in your life related to the first day of any month. So just spend a moment and consider to yourself this, if anyone comes to mind in terms of a birthday, day of passing, anniversary date, celebration date that connects you to the month of January. Or usually the first person that comes to mind is the right one. It can sometimes be more than one person who was born on the first day of any month of the year. There is a message here from that person for you, or there's a message connected to that the person who comes to mind. You may want to think of them as I pull this card, or they may be in spirit and wanting to pop in and say hello. For myself, interestingly enough, I am born in January, so I feel like the card that I'm going to pull today is a really significant message for me. My daughter is born on the 1st of March. The other thing about pulling cards is that the message is universal for all of us. So whoever happens to stumble across this is meant to get the message, but the reader is also receiving information from the card. And the way that I usually start reading my cards for other people is to really reflect on what the card speaks to and says to me, what it means to me when I look at it, when I think about it, when I see it. So it's not just that we are doing a reading for someone else. We are using our own energy to connect with the vibrational match in the other person that we're reading for. And we both receive messages from readings. So the way that I usually shuffle and clear my cards is I always knock on them to clear the energy of any past readings I've done with these cards. I usually do a little cleansing ritual before I start this process where I open my chakras, I let go of any worries, I detach cords from other people, I bring myself back to my heart, I pray to my guides and angels and loved ones to get some clarity and accuracy in the information I receive, and then I set the intention to trust that everything that happens from the moment that I look at the card till the moment I finish speaking about the card is relevant to myself and anyone else that is meant to hear the message. And so what just happened here was I don't know if you could see it on the video, but a card shot out. I tend to use this card as a supportive card to the main card. So today, Spirit wants us to hear whatever it is that our main card wants to tell us, and then it's going to have a little bit of additional information for us. And then when I decide to stop is really random. I don't know always why I stop. I just will go until something feels, maybe it pulls out differently from the other cards when I shuffle it. If a single card, like right now, this single card just sort of came on top, and I feel like that's the card that we're going to get today. And it's called Hollow Bone, Teachability, and it's the number 28. I've never had this card before. Our supportive card, and it is Dances on One Foot Balancing Act, which is funny. I was at the chiropractor today and he had me balancing on one foot and I was very wobbly. So learning to balance our energy, our bodies, is key or supportive information on the message that we have today. So let's go to number 28, which, funny enough, 2 plus 8 is 1. So again, we're back to this 1 energy of a new start, a fresh start today that's relevant. The other card is number 9, which makes me think of September, or the 9th day of any month. And people that come to mind, relationships that come to mind when you think of that month or that day. Again, I'm just kind of trying to teach you by using this on myself, sort of reading myself as I do this. But funny enough, 28 reduced to a single digit is a 1. And my birthday is January 9th. So these cards really are actually very personal today for me. And dancing seems to be a really great first thing that I think of when I look at this card, that I, really should be listening to some music and dancing and enjoying life and feeling fun and feeling young and feeling a new beginning in terms of enjoying the moments and enjoying moving my body and really just dancing through life today. When I look at the other card, I see it's a skull of some kind with feathers on it. Reminds me of hunting. So I don't know, hunting season is about to start. So that can be someone else's form of joy, Some of us like to dance. Some of us might like to hunt. Feathers are also on this card, which always makes me think of loved ones that have crossed. It is actually the Thanksgiving just passed, so I made me think of a lot of loved ones that I've lost around Thanksgiving. It makes me think of a lot of grandparents that I've lost. So I don't know if people listening to this have had people that passed around the 10th, 11th, 12th of October, especially grandparent energy. There's a lot of grandparent energy in that. So if that resonates with you and that is true for you, then just know that your grandparents are with you and sending their love. If that's not your truth, then just let it go. Not every single thing that comes through on a universal reading is meant for you, but the things that are, take them and know that you are loved and blessed. This coming week is the week to remember the infants that didn't make it here to the physical body. And when I saw that, it really struck a chord with me, because I actually had a miscarriage on October 18th of 2019. There may be yourself or someone you care about that did lose a baby through miscarriage, that didn't make it here in the physical body. And today I feel like those babies are around us, just reminding us to think of them and to let us know that they are at peace and they're watching over us and they're with us. And that just because they're not here in the physical form doesn't mean that they're not with us in some form or another. So whoever comes to mind when you think of loss of baby, whether it's yourself, a close friend, a family member, a spouse, just know that those babies are very much with us still and want to be remembered and want to be honored. With number 28, which is the main card, Hollow Bone. Funny enough, my son, his name, Logan, means hollow bone. So there's a message here I think I need to be aware of with regards to my son as well. My son, my daughter, myself, some family members, some people I care about. So this card is talking about being teachable. So the people that came to mind, so I need to be teachable. Okay. I have a friend actually that comes to mind that was born in September that I think is opening up to teachability. My sister, I mentioned, there's a message here for me to recognize that she's teachable. And my son, he's 2 years old and there's struggles with raising a toddler. And so knowing that I need to be willing to teach him and to recognize that he is teachable and he can get through the challenges of toddlerhood. It's also asking us to empty ourselves, empty our minds, let go, release, clear the clutter out. Just let it all go. Let go of the resentments and the grudges that we hold from the past, to just be empty again, to make a fresh start. Okay, so it's actually an eagle, apparently, this bone. That can't be so. It looks like a deer to me, but it says it's an eagle. Really? The hollow wing bone of an eagle. Oh, I see. There's a flute. That's this here is actually a flute. It's an eagle's bone that's been hollowed out and made into music. I mean, and how beautiful is the imagery behind an eagle that has that perspective to fly high above and see from a higher vantage point, and the ability to do that, to see things from higher above than to be stuck in our ego and our personality down here on the ground. Be able to rise above it and see it from a higher perspective helps us to let go and be empty vessels and teachable when we're not stuck in personality and ego. So with all those relationships and people that come to mind, including myself, the more I can step into my higher consciousness and my higher power, the more that I'll be able to have a better vantage point and be able to learn and be empty of all of the life struggles and tribulations and pain and agony that holds me back every day, holds other people back as well in their lives, may hold you back in your life in some ways. So we need to be an empty vessel and let go of who we think we are and check our egos at the door, right? When we let go before we do a reading, that's what we're really trying to do. Check the ego, check the third dimension out, check out of ourselves. When we're reading energy, we're really trying to get above ourselves and be connected to like the God source energy. We don't want to be in our personality and in our ego. We want to be connecting to something bigger than ourselves. We want to be an empty vessel, an empty channel. And the ego helps us do that because it always has that higher perspective. And in this case, it's been made into a flute, which is sort of like, music can help us do that too. Music can help us feel joy and dance and get out of the third dimension personality issues. Being humble and not egotistical is the swiftest way to see things from a broader, higher perspective. And this is a reminder that we aren't that special. Like, let's not get it in our heads that we're special. That word being special is an ego-based need we have to be acknowledged and valued. But none of us are any more special than anyone else. We're all in the same playing field. And yet, together, we are so special. And individually, we are so special as the brightest sun. The second card that's going to support the first card is dancing on one foot. Today is the beginning of starting to create balance with those relationships and those people. Even if you don't see it show up right away, having balance with my son, for example, where we're not just in power struggles over what he wants and I want, finding balance in that co-created journey we have together. It may not happen overnight. I can pick him up from the daycare and he might not miraculously be this balanced little boy, and I might not be the most balanced mom, but to sort of approach him from he can be balanced and I can be balanced and we can get along and we can find a balance that works for us between space and closeness and between his wants and needs and my wants and needs. It's not about just getting up and doing, I gotta go to work and I gotta get the kids here and I gotta come home and clean the house and I gotta make supper and I gotta do, whatever it is that your life situation looks like. It's about finding spaces to dance in between. Okay, got up, did this task, now I'm gonna go have a 5-minute meditation. Okay, I took the kids here, I came home, I'm gonna take a little break. I'm gonna connect back with myself and just breathe. Okay, I'm gonna go clean the kitchen, and when I'm done that, I'm gonna come back and I'm just gonna put on a song and sort of dance in between the doing and the being, the things that bring you joy and make you feel like alive and the reason we're here, and the things you have to get done in order to be able to function in the real world and live here. Not being lopsided in either one, where all you're doing is dancing, singing, joy, and getting nothing done, but also not becoming so stuck in doing that you lose the balance of, well, what's the point of it all if you're not enjoying any of it? If you're going to enjoy it when you retire, or you're going to enjoy it 20 years from now, you may not even be here to do so. So finding the balance between the being and the doing every day. And reach out and extend them fully, saying yes to Spirit's steadying hand and trust. So I hope this was helpful for you today, and I'd love to see any comments or feedback you have. You can like and subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you again next week with another card reading, and I hope you have a great day dancing and finding spaces for joy throughout your day.